Hello, teacher and partners. Okay, I'm going to start this video showing my poster. Okay, so I'm going to speak about my 5 innovative activities. I was a teacher before, teaching to schools, private schools, public schools. I teach at academics. But then I changed my profession and I use English to go in the developer world. Yeah, so I'm a software developer guy. I work with companies abroad. And okay, I understand of mixing technology by education. I understand that the people now is interested in things that they like. So, for example, these games of describe and guess game, you can put interact the people between each other, yeah. And for example, my avatar, digital profile creation. Student design a digital avatar and write 5 or 7 sentences description or its physical appearance. So they are speaking about themselves. Sometimes the people like to speak about itself to try to show interesting to the world. Okay, gamify, vocabulary sprint. Okay, now we have a lot of tools, online tools, when we can create interaction or interactive quizzes. So the people is interested to play, to start moving, to start looking this type of learning. Yeah, be interactive. Okay, my other activity is who I am. Is a power description. Okay, now I'm working a lot of with AI tools. So I think that we can mix now the technology and the use of AI to try to create good tools or good interaction or interactive tools to our students. So students could interact with a chatbot that plays a mystery character game. They ask yes or no question using the target vocabulary. Okay, so my last activity is vocabulary story, collaborative writing with Google Docs. So we need to mix now AI, technology, cloud systems, gamification, and to try to show and teach faster and in a very good way of to our students. Okay, now I'm going to speak about the questions. What was the most valuable experience from your teaching practice? Okay, during phase 2 I observed in session number 2 an A2 level class titled What Do You Like? Talk by teacher Clara Mireya Castro. And during phase 3, I observed a second session of future tenses talk by Jaira Chacon teacher. So, what made this observation so powerful for me is because it was not simply watching someone teach, it was watching someone teach through the analytics lens of theory. For the first time, I was not a passive viewer, I was looking for evidence of Krashen's affective filter, Vygotsky's CPD, Skinner stimulus response cycles, but and I found all of them sometimes in the same 5 minutes of class. That experience fundamentally changed how I understand teaching. Okay, it showed me that theory is not something you study in a book or then you forget. It is something you see, recognize, and apply every single time you walk into a classroom or in our case, open a video conference platform. So the most specific lesson I took away was this. A well-designed, technology-rich lesson is not automatically an effective lesson. What matters is whether students are being asked to produce language, not to receive it. That insight came directly from observation and will carry into every lesson I design as a teacher, and since now. Okay. Okay. My second question that was in the guide is how did your view of language acquisition evolve during the course? Well, when I began this course, my understanding of language acquisition was fairly intuitive. I believe, as many people do, that the more vocabulary and grammar a learner is exposed to, the more they will learn. More input equals more acquisition. It's very simple, and I apply in my life because, for example, I learned English. I learned English since 2007, more or less, when I was when I was out of secondary school. And then, like 2 years, no, 1 year ago, my teacher put me in advanced level, and then she offered me the way to teach to other low levels. So I start in this teaching world just because she offered me. So I start involving in this, and then this put me now as a developer and in my profession to understand and communicate with other people. So I communicate every day with people from United States, from London, from Australia, okay, and Italian people too, and they speak English a lot. So this open my world to uh, to work and understand every day. So, and this is according to this, as many people do. So the vocabulary and grammar as a learner is supposed to is the more they will learn. So this helped me a lot to communicate and to lose this problem that I don't want to speak because I want to make a mistake or something like this. No, I use speak. I mean, someone need to correct me, I accept that. But I prefer to risk, and I lose this speaking to other people. Okay, now question number C. Okay, is which activity from the Agora poster inspired you most and why? Okay. Attending the Agora event allowed me to see the diversity of creativity approach that my fellow students brought to the same fundamental challenge, designing better, more meaningful language learning experience. The poster that caught my attention the most was one titled Our Educational Proposal and Our 5 Activities. What immediately stood out was the coherence and ambition of the proposal. The 5 activities: My Future Life project, Future Plans and Video Challenge, Multimedia Storytelling, Gamified Quiz Challenge, and A-Power Future Interview all share a common trait: they push students to use language for real, communicative, communicative purposes, not just for practice exercise. Okay, so this was the thing that talk about this. I'm going to question the question D, the 4. What do you take away from the Agora event as a future teacher? Okay, as a future teacher, the Agora event reinforced 3 convictions that I will carry into my professional practice. First, theory must guide design. The activities we developed are not creative guesses. They are grounded responses to a real observed problem explaining through specific theoretical frameworks. So that is the standard I want to hold myself to as a teacher. Every decision I make in a lesson should have a reason. Second, the virtual classroom is a real classroom. So with its own unique challenge, cameras off, text chat as the main communication channel, the absence of physical presence, this factor raises the effective filter and reduces spontaneous interaction. As a virtual EFL teacher, I must be especially intentional about creation, psychology, safety, and designing tasks that invite participation. Students deserve to be producers, not just consumers. Every lesson I design must include at least one moment where students are required to construct language, to speak, write, describe, create, because that is where real acquisition happens. Okay, so this concludes the panel discussion for five of the practical component in foreign language and teaching, language acquisition and learning. Code, okay. Thank you for watching me, and I hope these reflections contribute meaningful to the ongoing conversation about language teaching in virtual and diverse educational contexts. My name is Cristian Velasquez, and I'm from Paipa, Boyacá. Thanks a lot.